This is a very exciting trap against Caro Kann defense, which is also a very famous game from 2005 by Konstantin, a Russian grandmaster. He started the game with this e4 c6 Caro Kann defense. We have the classical variation after this capture in the center, bishop f5, knight g3, bishop g6, h4. We want to trap the bishop. So h6 first, knight f3, knight d7, all well known theory, h5, and we just offer the bishop trade. We have capture, capture, e6, bishop is coming on d6 square, that is why we need to play bishop f4 first. Queen a5 check, bishop d2, bring the bishop back attacking the queen, and bishop b4. Okay, we have c3, attacks the bishop, bishop goes back, and c4, attacking the queen, so queen goes back. But is it possible that we just bring the bishop back again? This is not possible. This would be inaccurate because you have the knight move jumping in the center. And if you play a very natural move like this one, because this is the best move, you have the knight check and that's it. Because a king would is stuck in the center of the board, you have to play the king move. Bishop capture is not possible as this is pinned and we can just capture the queen. That is why after this knight check, if he moves, we have the pawn push, capture, capture. And now you would see this knight is placed on a very good square. So you want to play something like this knight back, you want to trade this knight, but we have a very stunning move with this b4. And b4 is always good, you already know. So we have queen capture, let's say this is one of variation, rook move. And once the queen move to a4 or a5, let's say you play this, we just play rook capture, knight capture, pawn capture, king capture, and now we want to castle because knight fork is not possible on c4 as it is pinned. So king goes back because there was a fork, but we just attack the queen, queen move, and you have the queen check, and king would stuck in a very bad situation. Let's say you play this move, this would not be enough because you just offer this knight because we want to capture this knight for free in the next move, and if you really capture this would just be a checkmate in 2 moves. That is why a very tricky situation for black, and this would be quite annoying. So after this maybe you might try queen to a4, but it's still not that impressive because after this capture, capture, you have this wonderful knight check, and once the king goes back, we have the rook takes, king takes, and you have this wonderful fork, and we win the game on the spot. That is why all these moves loses on the spot. After this, if you really want to go back with the queen, we have the knight move jumping in the center, and that's it. White position is completely winning. We are having a lot of space in the center, knight is well placed, we are going to castle, and that's it. That is why after this c4 we cannot bring the bishop back and challenge this bishop, so queen goes back, and now we just castle. We have some developing moves, b4 gaining a lot of space in the queen side. We again see a4, b4, all the moves are really good. b6 getting some room for the queen, let's say if there is any trap happening. So rook is coming on e4, we have castle, knight to f5, very wonderful move because now if you capture we have the free bishop and position is really good because this pawn would be falling in few moves. Okay, but after this was the best move. This pawn on h5 is also falling, so this should be equal game. But after this move, black played this rook move, which allows very wonderful trick from white side, and white is going for this wonderful knight sacrifice, but this is not that impressive, but you would see why this is working. After this king takes, one knight sacrifice is not enough, we have a rook sacrifice this time. And what is the best move for black is to just go back with the queen and don't accept this sacrifice. So but if you try to accept this, now you would see the very wonderful move, and you would be thinking that what happens if you just deliver a check with the queen? This would not work. Why it is not working? Because after the king goes to any of the square, you want to try to capture this, but the knight blocks, and that's it. There is no checkmate, knight cannot jump, bishop would just capture, and black is in a good situation. That is why queen check is not working, And after sacrificing two pieces, you have to spot another sacrifice with this bishop takes, and this is the brilliant move because you have to accept it or not. So if you try to accept, this is a mate in one, you already know. So you don't have to accept it and you need to move the king. Okay, you cannot move the king to this square because this would just be a checkmate after this. So king is never escaping anywhere. Okay, you can move the king and we have this checkmate. That is why you need to go in the corner, but still, if you don't accept, we again give another brilliant sacrifice. So you cannot move the king again because this would again be mate in a few moves. You play any move, bishop capture is coming. Let's say you want to play something, we just play bishop capture and this is a checkmate. That is why black need to accept the sacrifice, but this time queen check is working. Why this is so? Because you would see now the king is moving, the pawn is not there on h6 square. After this knight move, there is no good move for black. You need to play like this rook move. You need to prevent this checkmate because, okay, you can also play the knight move, but this would not happen. We just capture with the pawn, and once you move the rook, we just push the pawn and the checkmate is just threatened in the next move. So it doesn't really matter. You play something and we just deliver this checkmate. So, or you want to play the rook move, this would still not happen because we have the pawn push, and that's it, the game is simply over. So after this knight to g5 or this move 24 or 25, black just resigned the game, and a very brilliant victory for Konstantin. And this shows how we can go for this kind of brilliant sacrifices because of the presence of h5 pawn. So see you soon in my next video.